Hi everyone, let's do some more work with place value. Today we will be using a tens and ones chart. Draw it like this. Tens, ones. We'll be using base 10 blocks. These are our tens and these are our ones. The reason it's called a tens block is because if you take 10 of the little ones and stick them together, they make a 10 block or a group of 10. We're going to practice making two-digit numbers and then building them on the tens and ones place value chart. Let's start by making the number 42. When you make the number 42, you have to pay attention to how many groups of 10 come first. So let's build it. 20, 30, 40. Do you see how this 4 matches up? There are 4 groups of 10. This 4 does not mean 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually means 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. Because there are in fact 40 little cubes all stuck together that you can count by tens to get to 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. When we look at the second digit in the number 42, it tells us how many ones. 2. Now we've built the number 42. To write it in expanded form, you need to say how many are in the 10 side, there's 40, and how many are in the 1 side, there's 2. When you put them together, it makes 42. The reason I wrote 40 here is because that is how many small cubes are stuck together over here. And over here we just have 2. Let's try another number. This time, let's make the number 31. To make the number 31, you need to pay attention to how many groups of 10 you will need. In this case, you need 3 groups of 10. The number 3 does not actually mean 3 though. The number 3 in our number 31 actually means 30. 10, 20, 30. Now it's time to make the second digit. This represents how many ones. In this case, the number is 1. This is how you build 31. 30 and 1 more makes 31. Let's do another one. We'll build the number 50. To build the number 50, first you need to pay attention to how many groups of 10. 5 groups of 10. 5 groups of 10 does not mean 5. 5 groups of 10, well, let's count them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 groups of 10 means 50. And if you look at the second digit, we don't need any ones. We've just made 50 by using tens on their own. 5 groups of 10 is the same thing as 50. This 5 does not actually mean 5. Erase your board. Let's do the number 17. When you look at the number 17, the very first digit is a 1. Is that how you would do it? I hope not, because this 1 does not mean 1. It's in the tens place. This 1 means 1 group of 10. Now you can look at the next digit and it tells you how many ones. 7 in this case. Now we have 17. 10 and 7 more makes 17. Sometimes when people write two-digit numbers in tens and ones charts, they'll do it like this. The last number we just made was 17. You can write it like this. Because when you make the number 17, there's 1 group of 10, and as we already know, 7 ones. So you can separate them like this to prove that that first digit refers to the tens and the second digit refers to the ones. How would you write the number 52 using tens and ones? Well, let's try. 52. This 5 does not mean 5. It means 50. It's 5 groups of 10. This 2 means 2. 50 and 2 makes 52. What about the number 8? Yep, just plain old 8. Do you write it like this? No, you can't write number 8 like that. If you write number 8 here in the tens place, this actually means 80. This 8 means 8 groups of 10. That's not the same thing as 8 is at all. 6. If I put the 8 on this part of the tens and ones chart, then it actually makes 80. So if I want to write plain old 8, I have to make sure I put it under the ones, so it means what I want it to. This is 8. That's better. Well, if there aren't any tens when I make the number 8, is it okay if I put a 0 here? Nope, you never put a 0 in front of the number, only behind numbers, and only if they're necessary. So this looks a little bit odd, because if it wasn't in a tens and a ones chart, if I was just writing the number 8 without the chart, I would never write the number 8 like this. That's confusing. I don't need to put a 0 if it's in front. If there's nothing there, we just know there's no tens. Well, that rule is not true if you have tens and no ones. I'll show you. Let's represent the number 90. Well, let's just do 90. If I make the number 90, 9 tens and 0 ones, this 0 is very important. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I have my 9 groups of 10. Well, what would happen if I didn't put a 0 in the ones place? It's okay as long as it's in the chart, but if I were just to write the number 90 outside of the chart, and I didn't put the 0 after the 9, people would be confused. They would think I meant 9. That's why you have to have a 0 after the number if you mean 90. It's different than putting a 0 in front. The 0 in front of a number doesn't mean anything, but zeros after the number are very important. There's a big difference between 9 and 90. Be careful of that when you're practicing.